What kind of ager are you? Scope out your coping style. Hello, and thanks for joining me here in Agerville, my hometown, where many of us live longer than average, and some a decade or more. It's also a place where relaxation prevails most of the time. That's why I'm in my favorite chair for relaxing. A place you'll find me in future videos when peace and joy are celebrated. Because of lower back pain issues, I don't recline anymore and have a pad back here to keep my spine straight. But it's still my preferred chair for deep relaxation. You'll see more of it as I move into my mindfulness meditation series coming soon. Oh, in case you noticed, behind me is a wooden model of the HMS Bounty, made famous in the true story of the mutiny from the 18th century and a couple of more recent movies. I worked on it off and on for 10 years. Probably spent over 1,000 very relaxing hours with almost as many pieces to put together. Oh, also, the plant, I water it once a month or so, but I have found that plastic grows very slowly, so it helps me develop my patience. Now, to today's topic, which is more about how we deal with stress rather than how we create peace and relaxation. In her book, Eightysomethings, a practical guide to letting go, aging well, and finding unexpected happiness, Katherine Espy, Ph.D., a social psychologist and psychotherapist, describes 5 coping styles of agers. When she turned 80 and was experiencing the various challenges of octogenarians in her own life, she interviewed 128 other people in their 80s. She noticed vast differences in how they managed their lives and the range of emotions they experienced. She grouped them as deniers, stoics, complainers, worriers, and realists. I thought it might be interesting to examine our own lives, whether or not we are 80 yet, and see if we belonged in one of those groups. Or maybe none of them. Could be we have a foot in one group and a big toe in another. Let's find out. Deniers. These individuals refuse to acknowledge their problems when they are obvious to everyone else around them. For example, they may ignore health issues like dizziness or chest pains or breathing problems and refuse to go to a doctor. Normal part of aging, they say. If overweight, they continue to eat quantities of ice cream. They continue to drive knowing that their cataracts are diminishing their vision. Know anybody like that? Is it you? Stoics. These are the Pollyannas modeled on the literary character who refuse to accept any negative possibilities, like potential loss of memory or possible dangers of falling. They're consistently cheerful and optimistic and never give in to despair or fear. Always a stiff upper lip, regardless of changes in circumstances. Dr. Esty quotes Regina, age 84. "My hearing is not so good, and my heart has major electrical problems. Even so, I keep dancing, and I'm very energetic. Esty found a large number of Stoics in her interview group. Sound familiar? Complainers. These were a minority in Esty's interviewees. We have all probably run into at least one of these over the years. Everything's a problem. Back pain, reflux, the neighbors and their dog, the rude cashiers, on and on. Few of us would volunteer for being a member of this group, but don't we all complain at times? Sure. But it's a matter of degree. Worriers. Dr. Esty describes her husband, also in his 80s, as a worrier. She reports that he has been so concerned about falling that he walks everywhere with 2 hiking sticks. Why? He thinks it makes him look extra sporty. He constantly worries about getting sick and heads for bed at the slightest symptom. Is there a balance between being a worrywart and just being cautious and vigilant? Where are you on that scale? Realist. Dr. Esty describes these interviewees as, quote, wise souls who appropriately acknowledge their health conditions and their seriousness. They acknowledge their pain, but don't dwell on it, unquote. These are people who complain a little when things are bad. They go to the doctor and dentist when needed and don't take unnecessary chances with their health and safety. Sounds like a nice balance of reality. Is it you? Is it me? What's my coping style? While you may have been wondering where you fit in each category, so have I. I'd like to think I'm a realist, but I also recognize some characteristics putting me in other groups. A good bit of a stoic, as far as being positive and optimistic. I moan and groan, especially in the morning, according to my wife. But I'm not a complainer, at least in my own mind, and definitely not after I complete my morning routine. As far as being a worrier, I try to cancel out fearful thoughts, but they pop up sometimes. Think about yourself. Is there a need to adjust attitudes, thoughts, or behaviors in your life? Pull out your journal and see what comes out of your mind and into your pen and onto the paper. Perhaps we all share some elements of the 5 coping styles rather than fitting in just one box. If so, let's keep the helpful and positive and eliminate the useless and negative. Didn't somebody write a song about that? Humpty, your AGER companion, wishing you a day of helpful insights and peace of mind. Most of the time.